My friend Mark Johnson, you're on the other side of the interweb. How you doing?
Good, Sam. I understand you're a little bit tired.
I'm a little bit tired. Hey, real quick, before I forget to ask, what website are you affiliated with?
MissionMoney.com.
Yes, I am also affiliated with MissionMonday.com. And that's
Not
why.
a trick question, I guess.
Yeah, did I throw you off with that one?
I thought you were going to head toward the podcast arena, but.
Oh, no, we'll maybe get to that some other time. But, by the way, before we get to Mission, I want to mention, was it 2 weeks ago, something like that, we did a webinar for developmental resources. And if you go to MissionMonday.com, you can still get the recorded version of that webinar. Mark, I think we did a good job. What do you think?
I think we did a fine job, Sam. It was a little bit different, talking to the computer camera. I kept having to look at the little dot for the eye contact piece. And, not hearing any feedback or laughter or questions was a little weird, but I think we did great.
So what Mark is saying is it was really weird, but we still think you should capitalize on that podcast.
If you want to see two guys having a great time, yeah. Well, I don't think we appeared weird. I mean, the feedback we got was not, boy, those were two really weird guys. Why did you put them on? I don't think it was like that so much.
That very well could be.
Maybe they silently thought it. They just didn't want to say it out loud.
Because there's polite, good people in this world.
Amen.
Hey, enough of that. Let's get to the mission.
Right.
Mark, I'm not going to say this is my favorite mission, but I think it's one of the most powerful ones. We're going to do secondhand compliments this week. And quick primer, in case you forget what a secondhand compliment is, opposite of gossip. Gossip is when you're talking bad about somebody, even when they're not around. Opposite of that, talking well of people when they're not even around. So same thing for students, staff, parents, volunteers. Make sure that you take the opportunity to talk well of one of those people, even though they're not there. Example I always like to give is the kid's been doing a great job in class, and you kind of have a heads up that they've been getting some help at home, and say, you know what? You've been just nailing these spelling tests, doing a great job of that. Why are you doing so well? And then, the kid's probably going to say something like, well, mom's been helping me study at home. That's when you get a compliment, mom, to that child, even though mom isn't around. Wow, you must really have a mom that loves you a whole bunch, cares about how well you do. You're pretty lucky that she wants to study with you every night. That's awesome. So complimenting mom to the kid, even though mom's not there. Now, that can go across all those different directions from any one of our key stakeholders to any of the other ones. Mark, what do you have to say about this awesome thing of secondhand compliments?
The thing I dig about secondhand compliments are just the fact that they are secondhand. And so, the fact that you hear something good about somebody and then you can get to go to that somebody and say, hey, I heard this good thing about you. You can work it that way. That means that you're passing on a compliment that somebody else gave to you about somebody else. It's nice to know when people are talking well about you.
Yeah, you ever been in that situation where somebody walks in your office? This normally happens to me on a Monday, and the person will say, hey, were your ears burning this weekend? You ever have that happen?
Yeah, right, because they were talking about you.
Somebody was talking about you. And
what's funny, Sam, is that just happened to me today. I walked into the lounge, and there was about 8 teachers in there.
Yeah.
And one of them said, oh, hey, Mark, we were just talking about you. And I said, oh, great, that makes me feel really good. And she said, you should feel good because it was all nice things.
See, and to me, that is indicative of a positive culture, that even though nobody's around to hear it, even though, I'm phrasing that wrong, even though that specific person isn't around to hear it, it's still worth it to say those good things. Way better than an environment.
Right. I don't even know what they said. I mean, she could have lied to me, really. But I didn't say, oh, what'd you say? I'd like to know. No, that was good enough.
Mark, don't dismantle the magic. It was good.
I will not dismantle the magic, Sam.
Right on. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, as always, we appreciate you guys being committed to the mission. As always, check out missionmonday.com because it's where you can find how to get a hold of us for professional development or purchase It Happens in the Hallway. By the way, Mark, just so you know, we sold 3 copies today.
That is so awesome, Sam.
Way better than 0. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
I hope you get some rest tonight.
I imagine I will. All right, you take care, brother. See you next week.
You too.